Hello guys, this is Wesnator88 here, and I'm playing Fishing Planet again. Yes, but this time I'm actually on the PC. So on the PC version, I'm going to do the full series of every single mission. As you can tell, we've got the starter, and we're going to do the basic training for it all. Oh, right. Right. Oh, good. Okay, I can just learn it that way. Okay, right. So I'm going to do this. I'm surprised that it's actually put it on a whole public thing with people. Okay. Okay. So let's get the starting bit done, and we'll get out of the way with it. It's put me on a pretty late time for it all. Weird. Lit off. Come on. Okay, so it's that one. Okay. I just want to change the. Oh well, it's short cast, so it's fine. Then it's the training part. So as you guys all know, you'll be all doing this when you first start on the game. You basically catch the same sized fish and weight of fish, so. There we go. So the minute I'm obviously, as you can tell, you can see I'm using the mouse. Now let's catch a bigger fish. Oh. Okay. Ah, spore bent on and up to that. Okay. Wow. Right, go fish over this side. Before I go fish over this side. Aha! Oh, it's going to make me do it anyway. Ah, sweet. Hey. How am I supposed to... Ah, right, so it's the mouse wheel. Okay. That's different. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to change mine to using the console. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to change mine to a controller. On shift, okay. Right. Hold 0, okay. Oh! So if it's... No. Hold on. How do I increase it? I have no idea. Hold on. There we go. Nah. Oh, good. It zooms in quite a bit. Ah, you can follow it. Okay. Oh, gee. I'm more used to console controls. Come on. Stop playing with it and just take it. There we go. Huzzah! Obviously, we've leveled up to level 2. So these amps are unlocked in the shop. As you guys may know if you've played this before. Anyone who doesn't, that's what you actually unlock. Right. H, where is it? And leave. Are you sure? Yes, because the game wants me to anyway. Ah, dear. Right. Luckily with this I can do a few bits with just the mouse and keyboard. Just if I'm having to use a spinner, I technically only need the controller or console controller to use the spinner rods with. Tight line, yeah, complete that. Awesome. First steps, woohoo! Let's claim the reward. So obviously we've got a bit of bait fun, we've got quite a bit of cash. Now what's different between the console and PC versions is you have a universal chat. So you can always speak to people here. When you go to select area, so like we were at Lone Star, you'd have the global chat, the map chat, and if you have any friends that you just want to speak to while playing a game, you can. They did actually have the global chat implemented when they first started off. Right, now, do I have anything in here? Huh. No, okay. Now I know on the console you can get a free pack for a starter set. Looks like it's either hidden somewhere in the console, I mean on the PC somewhere on Steam, or it's not actually there. Right, so technically all I have to do is go back to the new location, right. List from there. It's not a bad list then. That's how complete. So yeah guys, hopefully you enjoyed the first little quick part. Like I said, it was just going over the tutorial. So I'll go over a few bits on this as well at the same time. Seems I'm still doing this. Right, so obviously we've got the global map, which is pretty big. Well, it's got quite a load of locations, which is still the same as, yeah, the console. Yeah, still the same as the console version, so it's nothing different apart from it's a bit weird that you can actually do a few different things with. Obviously you got your inventory, so obviously this is your character. Obviously we've only got the one net, which is basic and starter. We've got our first starter rod set, which I'll probably use for quite a lot of the series, and then we also have our I was going to say bait, feeders, mostly recipes, mixtures. So obviously I ain't getting into the part, so I can't really explain it as much, but this is what you put to your feeders. So you make a recipe up and you attach to your feeder rods, feeder mix basically, which surprisingly enough, if you have a catapult you can throw it, or you can actually have it in your hand, but you use quite a lot when you do it by hand. Obviously now we've got the shop. So obviously I've just hit the shop rods, so it makes it a bit easier. There are quite a lot of rods, as you can see, so many different pages and different types. So obviously you've got your spinner rods and your casting rods, which are the same type of rods. You know, you cast out your lures and you reel them in and try and get the fish. Now for these I'm going to have to use a controller because obviously I need to be able to feel the vibrations of it. Telescopic and match rods are the same, they're floats, which makes it a bit easier, so you just wait for your float to go down. And you have obviously your feed rods and bottom rods, which are all the same. Same for the cup rods, it is classed as a feeder. And then your spud rods are kind of like the ground baits. That's the word I was looking for, ground bait. You basically launch it into a location and feed. Obviously, then you got your two types of reels, spinning casters. Your spinning reels are the ones for your spinning reels are for oh dear, yeah. I was gonna say there's an icon there, so it can actually help you out. So these will use spinners. Right, let me just reword that. Your spinner reels are used for most of your rods. The only ones that don't use the spinners is the casting rods. obviously the icon there, they will only use the casting reels because of the design or style that they're done with. So yeah. Obviously floats, lures as well, just in case. Obviously feeders won't have any because obviously it's a feeder serpent system. Right, lines. I usually start off with mono. They are pretty good for having them. Me personally, I use fluoro for all my lines, which you may notice on the PlayStation series or console series that I do. I use basically fluoro. I have been known to use braid at times. I've been told that these are actually better to use when you're trying to get carp fish. Don't get me wrong, I do use them now and again if it's close enough to the weight on my rods. And obviously you have your leaders, so obviously there's the mono leaders, which is just a basic. Again, there's fluoro leaders, but I don't always use them unless I'm going for trout or maybe carp. I do use my titanium leaders quite a lot. These are good for pike, muskies, anything that's going to have sharp teeth, because these will not break. And obviously then you got your carp leaders for your carp rods, because you can only use carp leaders on carp rods, and you need them. Tools. Now these are the equipment you actually have on your character. So obviously there's the nets. Let me just do it a bit better. So you got your keep nets. Now, like I said, this is supposed to be. It was a DLC, and you get something like that one free. So I've got to try and find it at some point. Obviously, stringers. I don't use stringers personally, and I wouldn't really, unless it was for one of the sport events. Tackle box helps you carry more stuff, as you can see the information. So, yeah, tackles, lines. It says what material. If you can hold extra reels and ground bait components. Jeez, my wording's getting wrong. So we'll take a look at that one. Yeah. 150 tackle, 10 lines, 50 ground bait, which for level 70 is a really good one. But obviously, as a start, I'm going to go with only certain ones. I might end up just owning the whole lot anyway. Obviously, rod cases. The better the rod case, the more rods, reels, and lines you can carry as well. So obviously, we're going to try and get that one when we can. Pardon me. Waistcoats, obviously, we'll probably go through almost all of these at one point, but they help you carry extra tackle and an extra line. Let's see. Rod stands, obviously, hold your rod. So instead, when we get to level 6, we can fish with 2 rods, which will be good. So obviously, yeah. Set your rod stand, throw your rod, feeders, or your floats, and then you set them obviously on the rod stand. Or obviously you make sure you put your rod stand down first before you cast your rod, because you can't set your stand after you set your rod because you're holding your rod. Obviously the ones with the spikes, like that one, has to go in the ground itself. Anything like these, even though they look like they have to go in the ground, these ones don't have to go into the soil itself. These ones are basically more universal. They can actually go on the wooden platforms in some locations, whereas these ones have to go in the dirt itself, so they can actually stand there. I'm pretty sure they can go on the normal wooden platforms like the docks, which makes it a bit easier. And polarized glasses. Now, the only use these actually are in the game is so you don't get the glare of the sun. In real life, obviously it'll help the glare of the sun, but they also help you see the fish a bit easier. On the console, all I've noticed that they do is help you not get the reflection of the light, which is really good. Obviously you got all your tackles, hooks, bobbers, bells, which you need for your feeders. Obviously you got your sinkers. Let me just do hooks. So obviously use the right size hook for the right size fish. even offset hooks as well. There's quite a few different type of bobbers. I do like my glowing pair though. I love that. As long as I've got that, I always class it as a good fishing trip. Let's see. Obviously, sinkers are always to do with your feeding rods. They are also to do with rig setups. I think there's jerry rigs, isn't it? Yeah, your rigs. So obviously, these sinkers will mostly go on your rigs, unless it's that one. It can go on your carp, and your normal sinkers, single ones, are for your feeders. Obviously, you do have like feeder cages, which you can use instead for your feeders and. Oh, what's the other one? Bottom rods. There we go. So these are for feeding and bottom rods. PVA bags I've not used, but these are mostly to do the spod rods, I think. Or you can have these. No. No, I think these go on your carp rods. I remember right. I think they can go on your bottom rods. I'm not sure. I have to double check now. From what I remember, though, it's supposed to just go on your spod rods, but with the level being 34, it's like, no, 42. Okay, yeah. So they are the spod rods. So the bags that actually be used on the spod rods, which goes in the spods. If I remember correctly, anyway, I might be wrong. Sorry about that if I'm wrong, guys. And obviously, these are different rig setups. As you can see in the images, that is how they would look when they're set up in real life. So that's why you got your three types. Caroline rig, freeway rig, Texas rig. It's basically saying where the weight is from the offset hook and a few other bits. But yeah. Let's see. Obviously your lures. These are going to be all used for your casters and spinners. So obviously you got your heads, whether they're common and barbless. Now, just so you know, out of most of my lures and hooks, I will use barbless hooks because one, you get a bit extra XP for it, and two, it doesn't hurt the fish. In real life, these help not hurt fish. So that's why if you use them in the game, you get a bit more experience and a bit more cash because using the normal hooks can damage the fish. So I know with barbless, they do cost a bit of bait coin. If you do some of the missions, they will at some point give you a few free, barbless hooks or even normal hooks. But if you can, try and use the barbless hooks in the game. Obviously, you got your soft baits, which obviously goes onto the jig heads. I know, guys, this is going to be a bit of a longish video, and I'll show just ended after the tutorial. But I thought I'd go into the shop items as well, and then icons here. But yeah, anything that you see that starred, for anyone who's wondering, is because they're a new item that recently came out, or in the last update they did. So just so you know, because obviously the max level now is 70. That's why you got quite a lot of these all now showing up. Obviously you got your bass jigs, which is basically a jig with a bit of flair to it, and you can still put a few extra like of the lures on to try and get that bass more interested in your bass jig. Then you got your harder baits, which are mostly like pike, muskies, trout, and there's quite a few others, but we'll check the fish list in a minute and show you what they can usually go with. But there's quite a lot. You can again get some of these for free, even from a few other ways. Spoons, again, they can be used for muskies, trout. Most of the fish will go for some sort of lure. These are all pretty good. Again, if I can I'll try and get the barbless ones. There's a few challenges to use barbless ones anyway, so I usually use the barbless. Again, you get a bit extra experience. Unfortunately, some of them aren't barbless, which is like the narrow spoons, medium spoons, even the spinnerbaits. Right, that covers mostly part of that. But I will go over a bit more of these items more in detail later on in a video or in a stream. Obviously, now you have your baits. Now, obviously, I've just hit baits, which will have the common baits, the insect, fresh bait, and boilers and pellets. Boilers and pellets are mostly for the carp rods, but all the other food can be used on all the other rods. Obviously, apart from spinners and casters, because they use spinner and casting lures. Just in case, guys, you can't use these on spinners and casters. Obviously, because we're only pretty low level, we've got bread worms. Now, bread worms you get for free every day from Lone Star at the location where there's the big compost heap. You get 25 each time, so you could almost go every single day. You can end up with almost 1,000 worms, and trust me, on the console version I have 1,000 worms because of this, which is very useful. But yes, it's very helpful to have a bit of free bait, especially if you run out, you're like, need money again. And obviously when you go through the baits, as you'll see, it says targeted fish, catfish, bullhead. You know, it will let you know what type of fish this can actually attract. Now, obviously, some of them are going to be bait coin because it means you can get them at an earlier stage. I usually try not to use the bait coin on baits because you can get them for cash, which you'll end up saving a bit more money for. I know that some of them are a bit of a grind to get to, but, you know, it may be a bit more worth just waiting on the grinds. Like I say, these will let you know what type of fish and the weight. Obviously, depending on your rod, depends how much weight it will take. So do be careful. It will instruct you if you're using too high weight when you're setting up. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about that because there we go. It's taking a bit of time. But usually it will say optimal, too light or too heavy, and that will do it for all the rods. Yeah, let me just get down to the see here pellets. These will only be used on carp fish. As you can see, target fish is carp anyway, but just so you know, these are only used on carp rods. Again, pellets. Boilers again can only be used on carp rods. I know a few people will be like, I can't use this on this rod. Yeah, because it's only carp. Obviously, these can be used on any of the rods, which are more specific just for the carp type. And it goes through quite a lot of boilers and pellets. That's quite a mid-ish level stage. And obviously you then start getting into the odd few extra bits here and there, because obviously that's what they started adding in the new maps and locations. Because before, when I was playing, level 50 was the max level, which was Blue Crab Island. Then they started adding other locations, and now we've got quite a lot more baits, which is pretty handy and useful. Considering I've still not got past level 50 yet. Right, ground bait and additions. Whatever. But ground bait is what, obviously, this is made with, or for anyway. So obviously you have your main ground bait, which can either just roll up, make, and use. Obviously there's a few scented things to attract or keep the compound together. You know, you can throw quite a lot and you might end up getting a lot of fish quite quickly or a bit slowly. There's quite a few different mix, even, you know, instead of it being loose, there's some grounded ones, which means it's more compacted. And I'm pretty sure some of these are actually used in the PVA bags. I'm not sure which ones it is. I'm going to guess it's like these pallet ones again. You know, there's even hemp. I'm trying to see if there's anything different. Yeah, again, boilies again. So I think they're more for the carp mix ones. Carp rods, the spods. Spod rods they're used in, I think. Yeah, by looks of it they are. Right, boats, canoes. Now, I'm going to double check the character. Now before, you used to only have the one boat. They've actually allowed two. One's for the canoe, one's for your motorboat or bass boat. Now there are a few missions where you can get a few type of boats for free. Kayaks mostly, from a few missions. There's the Christmas Halloween event, which will give you a kayak if you do the mission for it. I'm pretty sure that it might take a bit of time because it does expect you to use quite a bit of time to get it. You can sometimes get, let's see, so, as you know, there's a few items here which I'll have to. Unfortunately, I've not got any unlocked. But when you look at these, see here, it tells you. I have to hold it a bit there. It'll tell you what your rewards are. Sometimes you might find that doing a few of these, let's do the game, will give you a few free items or maybe equipment that you might not have been able to get hold of, especially during certain events as well, in the world or time. But these can be pretty handy. I've never got the bass boats yet. I've only had a motorboat. I have had the odd few kayaks on the console version if you've seen that series. Right, and obviously you've got your licenses. These are for your locations. Now, whatever you get in the game, you don't really need the basic license. You just need the advanced one. So obviously at the start of the game you get a basic license. Now, I accidentally thought you had to have the basic license before you can get the advanced license for a location. It's not the case. You can just go for the advanced license. Because the main difference is obviously basic, you cannot not fish at night. The advanced, you can fish at night. Obviously there's no restrictions on what fish you can take. But on the basic license, you must release these fish at the start location. But if you have the advanced license, there's no restriction, you can take whatever fish. Now, throughout all the maps, eels are the one fish, no matter what, you cannot keep. You have to release the eels. That's a thing in the game completely. But if you do ever go for one, go for your limited. Obviously, you need bait coin for it, but go for your unlimited license and have it as an ultimate. If you're going to a place where you know you're only going to fish maybe for a day or two, but you have to go at night, just go for the 1 day advanced. Or 3 days if you think. And this is actually real time, guys. The days, the weeks, and the month is actually real time, not the game time. Just in case there's been a few people who've gone to location go, oh no, I've just paid for my license, and they've gone, oh, I need to leave, but I'm going to lose my license. Go, no, you got 24 hours real time before the license goes. So if you go for a location, buy the unlimited part for it because you're gonna really save yourself. And yeah, so this will give you a whole list of them, and they should basically be in order. As you can see, level 2 location, level 3 location, level 4, level 5. Obviously, you can't buy them if you're not at the level anyway, and it will go up. As you can see, the prices do get quite expensive after a bit of time. So this is why I say try and go for the unlimited license. Now, I don't actually pay to get bait coin. I try and grind for the bait coin. There are some events which will give you quite a bit of bait coin. So you do the events, or the events that give you a fish with bait coin. Try and fish them as much as you can. There are services, as it says services. So you can have extra buoys. Now you get these for when you get to day 5. You get an extra slot for an extra buoy. To start with, it's not too bad. I think when you get quite a lot done, they can be really handy, especially if you're going to try and make some marks and remembrances for when you next have to go there if you're on there. Tackle template slots is obviously, hold on, let me go to my character. So if you make up a rod, see, I've just moved my actual rod I've got now. It's the current save now. See, and now I've saved it. Clear that. Yeah. So you can save it into any slot, and then I think you can name it as well. I know on the console version you can name it. So if you want to have it set up straight away, as long as you got the items in your bag, it'll put that rod together for you in this location. Obviously, you have to have the slot empty for it to do it. I think if I had another rod type, it would fill it in for me, apart from you need the rod on you. Back to shop. Now, storage slots, which one of the things that I must get is the extra storage slots. I've got to grind for this one again. If you're going to go for the extra storage slots, if you can, go for the 300 bait coin one, because you get 200 storage. this one will end up saving you a lot. 200 extra storage compared to all this, and if you were doing that, 10 times. It's more than 10. Right, if you did the starter one, if you did the 10 one 15 times, it's going to end up being 300 Bitcoin, and you've only made, what, 150? You're 50 storage space short of that one. That one, let me think. Yeah, see when you got this 3 times, 150, you're going to be 30 Bitcoin short, and you're going to be 50 storage slots short just for what you can get if you just saved up for that one. I know it's going to be a bit of a grind to save up 300 Bitcoin. I know it is. But if you can, go for the extra storage. Go for the 200 extra storage because it's going to be worth it. And obviously, you got your recipe slot, which is an extra 10 Bitcoin. These two, I don't do. The marker boys, I'm not paid for because you can get them for free when you go to a new location. You get to day 5 as a reward. And that's for every location. When you get to day 5, you'll get a free marker boy extra. And, unless you really want extra markers at an early stage, you can do. I know on the Fisherman Fishing Planet, you get quite a lot of extra marker boys anyway. So if you're playing on the Fisherman Fishing Planet, guys, you don't need to worry as much for some of this stuff because you get quite a lot extra from what you have straight off the bat. And then there is your premium shop, obviously, where you can buy stuff. So you can buy Bitcoin if you really want. You can buy a premium account, which basically gives you extra experience, extra money for fishing at a location. Now you can convert Bitcoin to cash, but you only get 100 cash for a Bitcoin. So the exchange rate, 1 Bitcoin equals 100 cash. Not worth it. If you're gonna fish for if you're gonna grind for cash, just fish for it. Obviously, they've got some pond passes, which 3-day pond pass means you can go there even if you're at a low level. I'd only do it. Well, I wouldn't. I haven't even done that, to be honest. Usually, if there's any special events, they'll sometimes give you the location pass for free for a day, maybe 2 or 3. But that's only during certain events if you do certain challenges. So these I haven't done. Obviously, they have certain deals on to do with tournaments. Unfortunately, I can't look at the spots to be able to look, but there are some packs. They've actually got them on offer at the minute. Again, there's... Really? Huh. They've actually added in a catapult for. Okay, that's definitely the PC version. Now, a headlight like this you can get for free by fish. Again, 50 fish on at night time. If you catch 50 fish at night, you'll get a hat with a light on anyway. Light range. Oh, they've added range, okay. But that's different. So I'm wondering if they've added that into the console or not. Again, these are all just things you can get. I know on the Fisherman Fishing Planet, I had to get... Oh, it's not that one. No. Oh, you're coming back up again, are you? Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. There was a pack I had to get on the Fisherman, which was Blue Blue Crab Island. Anyway. Right, anyway. So these are the things that are popular at the moment. On type of packs that people are buying. Usually these are to do with events. Obviously these are to do with locations. Then ones. Stuff. No, that's not what I want to do. But yeah, the Pro and Gold. No. I don't know what I'm saying now. My brain's just gone. But if you want, you can always buy packs, which will just help you out. I know some people who don't always have time to do a lot of fishing. But yeah, you get different clothing styles, which your characters can wear, and people will notice. Even for boats, you could buy a boat for an early stage and do some fishing that way. Again, I am going to be grinding all these, as you guys will see. And as you'll know, Obviously, there's the event packs. Obviously, it's getting near Halloween, so you can get some of these things here in the list, or most of them, for free. Because there'll be jobs and challenges for you to get them. So obviously on the console, you might see me start doing these again on the console. Because I'm going to need to try and get these done. And these rods and rails, for completing Halloween events, you will actually get for free. Even the coffin case. See, I've got them. I think I've got one of them. Obviously the baits. I made a fish stringer. Yeah. Again, some of these you're just going to get for free completing the events on Halloween. Obviously this is commemorating Halloween. It's like the 4th of July. You can get quite a lot of them items for free. It's just a bit of a pain in the grind. St. Patrick's Day again. Christmas again. You can get quite a few of these things for free. And, you know, even Thanksgiving? Or is that 4th of July? No, that's Thanksgiving one. You know. Now, the 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, you will get, obviously, drunk worms and bodied crickets. These two baits will get you a ton of either lucky leprechaun or rowdy bass. They will give you 1 bait coin per the fish you get. But then if you catch enough of the fish, you can get rods and reels, and I think it's the case, or you get quite a few different items for free. I've got a few of them on the console, the console version, which I will show you when I play on that version, or you might notice it when you see my videos on it. Anyway, yeah, so that's basically the shop. Again, exchange Bitcoin, but I'm not doing that. Missions are basically what you'll be doing throughout the main series. You will get, as you can see, Bitcoin and cash for completing them. Obviously, as you can see here, obviously the app we get, then that's it, it's been ticked. Unfortunately, I ain't got a huge list. This will be the task with the location and the type of fish you need to get. Sometimes you might have equipment or items you need as well. So I'll track that one because that's the one we'll do in the next episode. Obviously, when spot unlocks, I'll show you, and obviously there is a premium, which is basically the same as what was in the shop for the premium shop. It literally just skips you right to there. Obviously, you got your main profile, your character profile. So they're the fish, most heaviest fish they caught out of the lot. I've only caught 3 types of fish, and these are challenges. Again, if you can try and do these, especially night stat, you know, catch 10 fish after 9 PM. I think you have to get up to like 50 fish, then you get a free light hat. There will be challenges for going to a location and staying there for a certain amount of time, you know, releasing fish. So I know I need to go to back here. It tells me for this mission to catch these fish, but doesn't say anything about keeping. So I could probably go here, catch all the fish I need, and release them. Which I'll probably do in the next episode. I'll actually do a whole video on me going there, catching and releasing fish, because I want to try and complete 2 birds. So it's release 25 fish in a row, and I need to do night fishing, so I need to catch at least 10 fish after 9 PM. Not only that, I need to make it to, where is it? Lone Star. Now the moment it says 1 day. I need to make it to day 30. Yeah. Luckily with the first location, it doesn't cost you anything to go and travel to and get back from. So obviously what I need to do is try and get this license for a day. Or unlimited. So what I'm going to have to do is try and do a few of the missions, challenges, to try and get me some Bitcoin, even though that one only gets me cash. I need to try and get some Bitcoin as a reward. Obviously this is the global charts, so you can see weekly experience. Someone's made so much experience, you know, competitions, top 10 top players, and obviously the biggest and highest fish. And so location, obviously at the moment it's the bully shark, which is the highest fish, which is going around. Obviously here you have your friends list, or people are in your friends. So if you need to find something, you can type them there and search. Unfortunately, PC and console are going to be different, so you will not find your friends on. Let's see. Let me type myself in for. Yeah, it won't even show my console version up. So that's the reason why. And then this is your general bit of information, tutorial, shop, fishing, what affects it all. So you can always find little bits of information. And then your settings. Now, I know the start of the game makes you have this simple setting. I prefer to have this, the pro setting. So instead of being like, I think it's line, rod, and reel, line, rod, reel. It's a bit easier for me, so I'll set that. Apply. Now you can have your bobber setting changed. So if you find it difficult, you can always make your bobber bigger or smaller, and you can slide tutorial and a few other bits. But like I say, I've got to yawning. I need to pad plus equalize. What? See, it's going to be easy if I use a controller, because I know all of these. I know the controller settings better than what I know on this one. So I think in the next few episodes you'll start seeing me play with a controller, but I'll still have the mouse and keyboard going around at the same time. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the first episode. I know it's a bit of a long-winded one, but it's going through all of this basically, and it's a tutorial. So I will go more into depth in the shop at a later stage. If you guys have any questions, please do ask. Put them in the comment section down below, and I'll try and answer them as best I can. I'm going to try and do a few videos and get a few recordings done ahead of time, so you never know, by the time you put a comment, there might be a video out. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's first episode of Fishing Planet for the PC, and hopefully I'll catch you later on, guys. Well, thanks for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.